and welcome to the Chemistry Academy. In this video we're going to go over the gravimetric determination of hydrated salts and specifically the calculation side of it. If you're looking for help with the practical aspect questions that you could get on this method or procedure, then you can find that in a separate video that looks at the practical aspects of the gravimetric determination of hydrated salts. So I've got three example calculations to show you. We'll go through each one as a worked example, and hopefully by then you'll know how to recognise these types of calculations and know exactly how to approach them and lay them out. So get your calculator handy so that you can follow along, and we'll get started. So the way that you really usually identify these questions is where you're asked to calculate a value of n. Sometimes this can be a different letter. So you'll see in the next example I've got, instead of n, they've used the letter x. But you're essentially trying to work out how many moles of water are in this salt sample. So the dot means that the water is within the structure, it's not part of the structure. So what that really means is you've got your cobalt chloride salt, the water is a separate molecule that's within the structure of that salt. It's not bonded, like chemically bonded by like a covalent bond, ionic bond or whatever, to the salt. Okay, so that's what it means when you put the dot. It means that that substance after the dot was within the structure of the thing that comes before it. So almost every calculation in chemistry can be started off by calculating the number of moles of something. So if you are ever stuck when you're trying to start a calculation, just ask yourself, is there something I can calculate the number of moles of? But essentially what we're trying to do in these questions is work out a ratio. So we're trying to work out how many moles of water are there for every 1 mole of the cobalt chloride salt. So if we have a look at what information we've got, so we've got a mass of the dehydrated salt. So if I lay this out here, got the mass is 0.204 grams, and we're trying to work out then how much water we have in comparison to that. So the other side I'm going to write H2O, and we need to work out then how much water we must have had. So to work out the mass of water, we need to do a subtraction between the mass of our hydrated salt and the mass of the dehydrated salt. So we would do the 0.372 minus 0.204. So you put that into your calculator, that would give you 0.168 grams. So we've got our mass of our we've got our mass of our cobalt chloride salt, and we've got the mass of water that was contained within that hydrated salt. So like I said, now all we want to do is ask ourselves, can I calculate the number of moles of anything? So we can actually calculate the number of moles of both of these things, because we can always work out GFM. So the GFM of water is 18 grams. The GFM of cobalt chloride, cobalt is 58.9, chlorine is 35.5. So that would give you 129.9 grams. So working out number of moles is always M over GFM. Hopefully you remember that even from Nat 5. So for the cobalt chloride we'd have 0.204 over the 129.9. And that gives us 1.57 times 10 to minus 3. If we just round it to 2 decimal places. And then we can do the same for the moles of water. So M over GFM. So for the water that would be 0.168 over 18. And that gives you 9.33 times 10 to the minus 3. We round it to 2 decimal places again. So now we've got the number of moles of each, we're trying to then turn that into a whole number ratio. So the easiest way to work out a whole number ratio is to divide all the numbers you've got by the smallest number. So this is the thing you would do when you're doing empirical formula as well. So our smallest number is the 1.57 times 10 to the minus 3. In these questions, your smallest number should always be the number of moles of the dehydrated salt. If it's not, something might have gone wrong. So I would double check your mole calculations. So if we do that, we're going to get 1 mole for the copper, keep calling it copper, we're going to get 1 mole for the cobalt chloride, And then for the water, we should end up with N being 6. And that's our final answer. So we've now managed to calculate how many moles of water there were for every 1 mole of the cobalt chloride. Easy as that. So if we do the next example, so same thing, but this time we're asked to calculate a value of X rather than a value of N, but there's really no difference. So we set up our calculation, we've got our dehydrated salt and then water. We find our masses. So the mass of the dehydrated salt is this one here, the one without the water. So that would be 3.89. Our mass of water is our hydrated salt take away our dehydrated salt. So that would give us 1.05 grams. We work out our GFMs. Calcium is 40.1. Sulfur is 32.1. And oxygen, we all probably know, is 16. So that should give us 136.2. So our number of moles, I'll not write over GFM again because I'm sure you are quite comfortable with that now. So 3.89 divided by 136.2. So that gives us 0.029, say, if we round it. So it's 0.02856, but I would usually always round to 2 or 3 decimal places, depending on what your number is. And then 1.05 divided by 18 gives us 0.058. If you round to the same number of decimal places. It's always helpful if you round to the same number of decimal places for both of your numbers of moles. So as long as, like, say you were to have rounded this one to 2 decimal places, just round the other one to 2 decimal places as well. It makes your whole number ratio easier to work out. So we take our smallest number, which is this one, and divide them both by that. So we end up with 1 there, and then the number of moles here should be 2. But always best to double check. Yep, 2. So I've put an N here, but we can just then put as the final answer X equals 2, just to be clear. So always double check what letter they're asking you to calculate and make sure you put that down. It's kind of like if you remember in Nat 5 maths when you did simultaneous equations, and sometimes you had to use letters of like P and C, or C for child and A for adult, or things like that. So just double check. And then the last question is essentially the same, but they've given you raw data to process instead of just doing the calculation. So you can see here they've got the masses that they recorded when they did their weighing by difference. So they've got the mass of the empty crucible, then the mass of the crucible plus their hydrated salt, and then the final mass of their crucible and the dehydrated salt. So what we need to do is work out the mass of the dehydrated salt and the mass of the hydrated salt. So all of the questions we've done so far gave us those numbers, but we're having to work them out first of all. So it's not difficult to do. All we have to do is take the mass of the empty crucible away from both of those. And that will give us the mass of our hydrated salt, which is this one, and then the mass of the dehydrated salt, which is that one. Okay, so now we have those, we can then start our calculation just as we normally would. So we've got our salt, and then water, our masses. So the mass of the salt on its own was the 1.62 grams. The mass of water, we would do the 2.71 take away the 1.62. That gives us 1.09 grams. We've got our GFMs, which we can work out all the time. So then strontium is 87.6 and chlorine is 35.5. 58.6 for that one. So then we can work out our numbers of moles. So for this one it would be 0.0102, but we can just round it to 2 decimal places. And then 1.09 divided by 18 gives us 0.06. So again, if we take the smallest number, divide them both by that, we end up with 1 mole here, which is what we're wanting, and then here we end up with 6 again. So in this case, again, our N value, the number of moles of water for every 1 mole of strontium chloride, is 6. And that's us. That's our 3 examples. So you can see all very similar, all very straightforward. Find your masses, your dehydrated salt, the mass of water, which usually involves a subtraction. Calculate your number of moles, and then divide by the smallest number to get your whole number ratio. Bob's your uncle, Annie's your aunt. So if you found this helpful, please give the video a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again soon.